Oh, there's a lot of like noise outside. So, I have some exciting news. So, researchers, and I'm going to tell you why this is particularly exciting for me. So, the one thing you might not know about me is when I was a small child, one of my biggest dreams was to grow up and become a scientist, like a legit scientist. Do experiments, find out things. But I never knew where to study. And after a while, I went into something in college, and circumstances prevented me from following that dream. But in my personal life, being a scientist for me is not so much as a job. It's a lifestyle. You have to want to discover new things in the world and not want to be limited to what we know as norm. You want to discover and test and try to find out these things that exist in our universe, because we are a small speck in the universe. So there must be a lot of things that we do not know. So yes, we know a couple things, but in my personal belief, I keep an open mind, because since I'm a small speck in the universe, I'm like, there must be something we don't know in this universe. So I had my own little theory that, hold on, give me a second. Okay, sorry, I was cooking up in the kitchen. So I had this idea and this feeling, and the way how I got this idea was from when I was a young child. My father, he's very spiritual, and we do spiritual things. So I was into like having an open mind and like really trying to find out more spiritually what's out there. And one day, hanging out with my dad as a very young child, I actually had this spiritual journey. And just because we're very spiritual people, not like religion, more so like spiritual, more so like spiritual. So I had this like vision, sort of like a vision quest, and I went I went to a place where it's like I found out that this life I've lived before, and I have there's like a place you go after you pass, and it's like a place of just a soul. You don't see any light. It's just like souls interconnecting, and those souls aren't alive as yet, but those are like the they are like the the enlightened, the more enlightened soul. And there's some on their journey still, and then there are humans who are currently here on their journey to like get enlightened. And you want to get enlightened because you want to just be in this state of happiness and peace. And so ever since I've had that little vision quest, I've kept it a secret, but I've kept it, you know, in my mind, and I never really let go of it. I said, before I follow this, I'm going to like look into more options and see what's out there. So, the exciting thing that I want to share with you today, and how that I think it connects to my little vision quest thing. Um So there's been a scientific article put out by the Blue Brain Project, and the Blue Brain Project is in Lausanne, Switzerland. So, sorry. So maybe someone's doing construction. Let me look. Yeah, so there's no way I can fix that. But so it's by the Blue Brain Project. The article is called "Scientists Find Evidence of a Multidimensional Universe Inside Our Brain." And I think this is particularly awesome. Like, this is so awesome. So I'm gonna read a little bit about this, like the main points that I want to address. So it says, there's a super vast cellular network that somehow makes us capable of thought and consciousness. We have found a world that we never imagined, tens of millions of objects in a small speck of brain, up through 7 dimensions, and in some other networks, we even discover structures with up to 11 dimensions. The more neurons that join, the more dimensions are joined to the object. So Professor Cees van Leeuwen of KU Belgium says, outside of physics, high-dimensional spaces are commonly used to represent complex data structures of conditions of systems. For example, the state of a dynamic system in state space. So I think this is really awesome news to me. So what I first want to talk about, it says, the super fast part where we're able to achieve consciousness. Now, I think this is how we're capable of telepathy. That's where my part comes in, about being from this other dimension, this dark dimension. It's not like we see light or we see dark. It's like souls connecting to each other. And so you don't need that space. You don't need that. And it's so crazy, because I want to develop this opinion, and I want to develop this thought that I think into something more clear and concise. And it's just so exciting because I thought it up first. I should say, I think I thought it up first. I mean, I can't really say within anybody else's life, but it's just crazy because before I heard of it anywhere else, I was the one, I never heard anyone else talk about it until just now. So it's really, really cool. It's just, I'm having such a great time with this right now. It's so awesome. Wow. Yeah. So, but yeah, check out the article and read it for yourself. I like to tell people the articles that I read, but the thing with me is, if I'm on the road and I speak on something, it's not a good chance that I'm gonna remember where I saw that article from. Like, yes, I'll know that it's a credible source, but I won't remember what that credible source was. Like, I'll probably be like, I think it was like Nat Geo or something, if I know it was Nat Geo was the biggest part, but it came from another place, like a specific scientist. I won't know who that is, because it's just so much information to take in. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little information session. There's more out there. There's more. Don't be stuck in one view of everything. There's definitely more out there. So, peace, guys. Thanks for watching.